everyone. Welcome to Victoria's Voices. I'm sure you're wondering why I'm behind the scenes and Arthur's not here podcasting with you today, but I have the pleasure of hosting Alexis Crespo, Chief of Program and Development, and I'm here today with the founder of Cherry Willow Appeal, Matthew. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Excited to be here.
I'm so excited that you're here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your organization?
Yeah, so I founded Cherry Willow Appeal to partner with nonprofits and businesses that it's all about wearable advocacy. So we go in and we work with partners to help bring a vision to life and help them create connections in the community by allowing their supporters to be representatives of those organizations and go out there and spread that message, through apparel. There's a lot of beautiful things about technology, like being able to record this podcast and share it with people all over the internet. But one of the things about technology, it often allows you to disconnect from the person right next to you.
So true.
So with apparel, when you see, a vision statement or a mission statement for some of these organizations, it can spark that curiosity and be like, oh, wow, maybe this is an organization. Maybe I can do something. And so that's really what we're all about, is inspiring people to take action in their community and just, be kind and empathetic to others.
Yeah, no, that sounds amazing. And the cool part here is youth empowerment is actually a part of that initiative. So we worked out with Shauna, one of the people who are behind the scenes here at Cherry Willow Appeal, and we have the kids in a design competition right now. So I can't wait for you to see what they've been able to come up with. And the cool part is we're going to pay our kids $100, whoever wins the competition. We are going to use all of the art for the competition that comes up. However, the one winner, they are going to get the cash prize, which they're very, very excited about, as you can tell, because teenagers, who isn't excited to get some money? I mean, as an adult, I would love $100 for doing something and that I enjoy.
I love that you're getting the kids involved in the design. Like, that's so much fun, and that's just a great way to engage, people, and just I'm really excited to see that design come to life and be able to share it with the people in your community.
Yeah, no, and I love that you're doing this through the apparel route, because a lot of times, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, that people can't always afford to give back to the organizations that they do believe in. And I love that you took this initiative and put it because you're not even from California.
No, I'm from Chicago.
Yeah, and you reached all the way over here, a little nonprofit of 15, in City Heights, and we're able to partner up with that because of that.
Yeah, and that's one of the goals, is to be able to meet our partners where they're at. And that was one of the things as we've developed the partnership process. And again, want to give a lot of credit to Shauna, who's been amazing at making these connections. It's just to make it as easy as possible. And so, reducing the burden on our partners, not requiring a lot of upfront inventory or high costs, and really making it easy to work with us, because we know, nonprofits are already stretched very thin. You're already dealing with a lot of emotional, heavy work. So we wanted to come in and really just add some fun, some inspiration, and then hopefully help more people get connected, with your cause, whether that's new volunteers, whether that's new donors, or maybe even corporate or business sponsors that come to you through the apparel collaboration. That's the goal. So the marketing component, in addition to, the fundraising component, they're both really, really important and part of why we're building what we're building.
No, everything sounds incredible, and we're so excited to be a part of this initiative. Also, thank you for acknowledging how stretched thin nonprofits are. A lot of times people forget that, but we are the backbones of the community. Nonprofits really are. When all resources are out, we're still here. And I really appreciate that you're taking an initiative and supporting that too,
Yeah, absolutely.
We have some friends behind the scenes right now, so.
A couple of dogs in the room always makes things interesting.
Yeah, it definitely does. Definitely.
But yeah,
does.
especially, just with the current administration, I know there's a lot of budget cuts. So being able to have differentiated revenue streams, and that was part of my journey in starting Cherry Willow, is I come from more of an apparel branding marketing background. And so I wanted to bring that to nonprofits, who are generally really great at executing, and they're really great at showing up for the people that they serve. But there's opportunity for growth and connecting with more individuals about the mission and letting more people know about the work. That's oftentimes just with budgets and staff. It's that's something that's not often poured into just because of the emotional work and everything else that you're already doing. So we wanted to come in and, again, just be a true partnership, really help to elevate and add exposure to the wonderful work that the organizations are already doing, like you are here at Youth Empowerment.
Yeah, no, we super appreciate that you are doing that, and we cannot wait for the design to be out, and then we can showcase our t-shirts and then put them on the website, and then have the kids next to all their designs, and then have you involved with it. So we're really excited about that. But that's not even the coolest thing that you're doing right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the reason that we're out here in California. It's been a lot of fun. So we're on our Pedal for Progress campaign, where I've been biking from Sacramento all the way down to San Diego. And so right now I've logged about like 670 miles over the past 8 days on the bike. And it's been a lot of fun. We've connected with people and worked with different nonprofits in a few of the different cities, and just really telling the stories of the people impacted by homelessness and then the people working, to support their community. That's been what's been most exciting for me. But it was a lot of fun, going down the highway, like 45, 50 miles per hour, cars zipping past. So there's a little bit of an adrenaline rush there too.
So I was going to ask you about like your route to get over here, because there's no back roads.
No, so there was there was actually a lot less bike trails than I was thinking.
Okay.
It was probably only 10 to 20% trails. So it was mostly, some lesser trafficked roads. But San Diego actually has been awesome. It's been the most
San Diego's super bike friendly.
Yeah, super bike friendly. Yeah. Much more friendly than a lot of the other cities that we were coming through.
Can you explain why you decided to do a bike ride?
Yeah. So the biking is kind of multifaceted, but one is like people experiencing homelessness. That's one of their main forms of transportation. So I wanted to show that it can be really challenging to just logistically, do all the things that maybe people that haven't lived that experience or they don't really understand, they want to be able to see how challenging it is to just go to the DMV if all you have is a bike, and go to get documentation. And now these are hurdles that need to be addressed, and you need to understand maybe why people aren't able to get themselves into a situation where they're empowered and they're elevating their situation. Transportation can be something that's simple, and it can actually present a huge challenge. And so the route allowed us to pass through 7 of the 14 cities with the highest number of people experiencing homelessness in the country. So that was starting in Sacramento, where we were at St. John's Program for Real Change, which is a domestic violence shelter for women and children to help end the cycle of poverty. Then we went to Oakland that day, and that was the most exhausted that I was. Yeah. We did 23 hours of travel the day before.
Wow.
And then it was on 4 hours of sleep. I got to serve the women and children there, which was awesome.
That is really cool.
Get to see the impact. And then it was 105 miles to Oakland, and that was for sure the most exhausted I was that night. Just 9 o'clock collapsed on the RV, and I did but thankfully after that it seemed to get better.
Okay, that's amazing. How did you prepare for this? 700 miles is insane. You said 715 that you're going to do at the end?
Yeah. 715 will be the total. So I trained because I'm a single dad. I have 3 kids, 10-year-old, 9-year-old, and 7-year-old. Luke, Malin, Lacey. Love you guys.
Shout out. Hey, guys.
So I fortunate enough to have a Peloton. And so I would get up early in the morning, do an hour, 2 hours before the kids wake up. Okay. And then I did 4 100-mile rides on each weekend in June. So that was as best as I could simulate it, and it seemingly has worked pretty well because I've done decently. I was worried that my body wouldn't hold up, and I've had the energy for it every day, and I think it's because in part because I get to meet incredible people that are working, and I get to see the passion, and that that really fuels me. The women and children at St. John's gave me such an incredible reception to start.
That's awesome. They
were all really proud of me, and I was like, I can't let these, they're all invested, they're following along.
100%.
So, that extra energy and showing up for people, that certainly helped fuel me as well.
Yeah, that human connection really does make a huge difference, especially COVID really separated us a lot. Yeah. And I think communities who are the most vulnerable and need the most support really felt that the most, and we talk about it here in San Diego. Our community is still feeling hits from COVID. A lot of other communities who have the resources and have the means to overcome that, they're fine right now. Our communities, it's as if COVID happened maybe yesterday. We still are lacking resources. We're still lacking the financial stability to be able to have some parents go back into work and keep the kids. So raising awareness, and you really took put your foot in someone else's shoe, you took that literally. What do your kids think about this mission that you're on right now?
They're really excited. Yeah, it was actually it was a lot of fun. They're with their mom and with a bunch of family and cousins. And cool. My daughter Madeline was FaceTiming. She's like, "You got to meet my dad," and he's biking California right now. So it's been a lot of fun. They don't always understand why I'm working long hours or things like that because it can be hard to just for them to get the full scope of what I'm doing. Yeah. But I think it's really important that I am an example and like show them what it's like to pursue something that you're passionate about. Because I think that that's really just one of the keys to life is just whatever it is that your passion might be, just pursue that, and just never lose that dream. Like, don't let that little sparkle of the little kid, like, keep that with you no matter what you're doing.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. So as the founder, what advice do you have to people who are in the situation of being unhoused and want to overcome that?
That's a great question. So I think there's a lot of different places that you can go. And so just like kind of reaching out and trying to get support from people that have been through it before. And so like that's one of the things we're working on is we also have a technology company that we're working to, build an app where it's accessible and it's able to have all of the resources, the wonderful nonprofits that exist to serve these people, that they can find them in one place. Because that's really challenging.
That's amazing.
Like if you don't know an organization exists and you can't find it, so that's why the apparel with the marketing comes in. It's like there's so many organizations doing great work, but if you don't know about them, how can you take advantage of their services?
Yeah, how many times can you call a hotline and no one answers?
Yeah.
1-800, no one's there.
Yeah.
So that does make a huge difference, and that's fantastic. So you're not done yet. You have one more day to go for your Pedal for Progress, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
So we got 50 miles on deck for tomorrow, and then we're finishing at another partner organization where they're going to have, they share like mental health and their journey, and then I think they end with a game of basketball. So we'll see how my legs are feeling.
I was going to say.
If I can get the jumper going.
You better. You got to dunk on them, all right?
If I could dunk on them, I'd be very impressed with myself.
That was not part of your training?
Back in my youth, I used to be able to dunk a volleyball. But I got tiny hands.
Okay, well, that's pretty impressive still, That's not that bad.
Yeah.
I want to bring up one thing that you talked about is working with people who have been in the same situation as them. That's exactly what we do here at Youth Empowerment. We call that lived experience.
Yeah.
And with that lived experience, we have credible messengers. And the credible messengers are those who lived through what you've been through, but specifically here at Youth Empowerment, it's those who have been formerly incarcerated or severely affected by trauma. And not a lot of people realize the difference it makes of talking to someone who actually has been in the same exact situation as you,
100%.
And we were talking earlier, and we have some similar family backgrounds. It does make a huge difference, and then immediately you kind of have that connection to someone,
right?
Like, oh, okay, you're not going to judge me, you get me. And I think that's the beautiful part about nonprofits and organizations and like us being able to come together because we get it, Yeah. And we're not judging you. We're excited for like your journey and to like be a part of that story and get you where you should be, because not everyone asks for that.
Yeah, that's really well said. And I think that's something that the more people I connect with in the space, it's like so many people have been through such challenges and have been able to find a way to not only fuel themselves, but to make a positive impact on others. And so like what you do when you face adversity, I think if you look at the people that are working in the nonprofit space, like they have a personal connection, whether it's something that they lived personally, it's a family member that was impacted. And instead of letting that, become a negative force in their life, they're able to turn it around, use that adversity experience, grow through that experience, and then go out there and help others positively impact them. And so that's something that I feel like, one of the goals with Cherry Willow is like you don't have to have experienced homelessness to want to help and serve people experiencing homelessness. You don't have to have, experienced abuse or trauma to want to be able to understand those people that have and help them. And so that's like one of the small acts of kindness that we're all capable of making, whether it's just stopping and introducing yourself to someone that's, holding a sign up on the side of the street and asking their name. You don't know the last time that somebody did that. They're getting passed by hundreds, if not thousands of people every day. So that small act of human kindness, that human connection, that makes a big difference. And if we have more people operating in that way, then I feel like we'll just be able to build stronger communities.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. And I absolutely love that message that you just said, bring back the humanity to what is going on. I think we've lost that. And this bike ride that you're doing, and I feel like bike ride is not even like sufficient for what you're actually doing, like this is a very impressive. I don't think I could bike like a quarter of that. I don't like you did 50 miles in one day tomorrow. There's no way that I would be able to do that.
Yeah, the most miles I did was day 3, which is actually my favorite day of just riding. There was 111 miles that I did, and it was a lot of fun. California is a beautiful state.
Thank
so
you.
many different landscapes. And yeah, I got to go down. It's like a 12-mile downhill through the redwood forest. That is something that I'll remember for a really long time. Yeah, that was really cool.
No, that sounds absolutely.
But the uphills, those go right out.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah,
that's not.
You're like, I'm gonna forget that ever existed.
Yeah, that is not fun.
Well, Matt, I'm so excited that you were here. It was amazing to meet your team and what you're doing, the mission that you are on. We are so happy to be even like a small part of that. And we're so excited that you stopped here at Youth Empowerment to see what we do. I cannot wait for you to see what the kids are putting together. I think you're going to be really excited about that. And then obviously, I'll have to get you all t-shirts too so you could wear them. But before we close out, we do something here at Youth Empowerment. It's called a check-in and a check-out. So we say our name, how we're feeling, and then we answer a question. So my question for you is, after all of this is over, what do you hope that you accomplished besides this incredible 715-mile bike ride?
Yeah, that's a great question. And my main goal is just to inspire people that may be sitting on the sidelines right now or feeling like they can't make a difference. Just inspire them to take action. I think action is the answer is one of my little phrases that I'll say.
Oh, I love that. Say that again.
Action is the answer.
I love that.
I have a few of those, like empathy over everything is another one. But that's people.
We got t-shirts right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we have those t-shirts. But people, they don't, the thoughts are great, but if you don't act on them, then you don't affect change. And so like that's what I hope that I can inspire somebody to do. It's like, yeah, this is what I did. This is what I thought would make a big impact. And so that's the goal, is like, you can make an impact. So go out in your community, find a cause that you're passionate about and just reach out to them. Like take action, make a phone call, send an email, like get involved somehow. That to me would be like, I did a good job.
No, that's amazing. Matt, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your time. I appreciate hearing about your story and being, like I said, one part on that journey. Youth Empowerment cannot wait to see where this relationship continues. And that's it for Victoria's Voices, everybody. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share to our page. Go follow Cherry Willow Appeal and make sure you look at Pedal for Progress with Matt. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much for having me.